This is the Pythonic Accountant, and in this video we're going to take a look at some expenditure data from the state of Florida broken out by municipality. And you can see in this Excel file it's got the government and the county, and then some information about kind of the total per capita and percentage of total. And so what I want to see if it can do is just some kind of basic analysis of like a trend line of the average percent of total per each category and how that changed over time. So I think that'll be interesting to see if it can do it. In a previous video, it had trouble with the kind of created column that it provided around fiscal year. So we'll see if it's able to fix that this time. So I've actually adjusted the original prompt that I used to say, you know what, just take a look at this data. There's multiple tabs representing each fiscal year. I want to have a visual in Altair, another library that has the fiscal year in the x-axis, percentage of the y, color of the expense. And then, this sometimes helps if I tell it to take its time and take caution in creating the fiscal year column so it doesn't cause any issues. So let's see if by doing that, it will actually get it right. Okay, let's follow along. So first it's going to review the file, then it's going to create the visual in Altair. And yep, it has confirmed it contains the tabs with multiple years. And do I want to proceed? Yes, obviously. Let's see if it's able to get it right this time. I have no idea if it will. I ran into some issues with the fiscal year column last time, but we'll see what it can do. So now it's thinking through how it wants to respond or how it wants to proceed. Reshape the data, create a fiscal year column, concatenate the data, data visualizations. This sounds peachy. All right, excellent, Mr. Accountant. I will proceed with executing the plan. By the way, it's calling me Mr. Accountant because if you haven't seen in the previous videos, I have a custom instructions set up here telling it I'm pretending to be a bookkeeper doing accounting work, and please call me Mr. Accountant. Blah blah blah. So let's see if it's able to come up with something interesting here. Oh no, there was an absence of a government column in one or more sheets. Okay, yes, please remove any, let's see, rows that cause issues, and you can either make up fake values if needed, or leave out any columns that are too challenging to try and use. All right, it's good enough guidance, I think. It may just decide to remove the problematic columns, and we'll see what it's able to do here. So once the data is cleaned and shaped, we'll move to the visualization phase. That makes sense to me. Let's pop this open and see what it's doing just for fun. So it's changing the columns. Data frame melt, or pd.melt, is a really useful tool. I just noticed it's using it. If you've ever done Excel pivot tables, a melt is sort of like the opposite of a pivot table, where it takes the multiple columns and it literally melts them back into one single column. So you end up with more rows than you started with, but it actually makes it a lot easier for doing data visualization. So you can see here I ran into some kind of issue related to the data reshaping. So we'll see if it is able to correct that issue. And again, it has found another issue, and we'll see if it's able to fix it. It's funny, in the last video I worked on, it ran into like 5 or 6 issues in a row that it just couldn't fix, and it finally gave up. It'll be interesting to see how many times it tries this time before giving up. I'm hoping it works, but you never know. I guess we'll see. So, will it work? No, looks like it is going to give up. And yep, I think it might give up on us. Oh, no, it's actually going to try to fix it. Let's see if it can do it. Let's give me one moment, Mr. Accountant. Let's see if it can do it. It's really working hard here. It wants to get this right. My AI CPA assistant is Very friendly, very powerful friend of mine. Quite a lot of things it has to do. Oh no. Oh, interesting. It looks like it ran into an issue with the library. That's funny. So that's one problem I've noticed it has, is it won't always know the right kind of what's available in the versions of some of these tools that it has in its environment. Part of it, I think, may just be the timing associated with what version of Python and Pandas it is using versus what its data is trained on. And so there's ways to remedy that, but I'm not going to worry about that here. Like basically you could feed in some of the documentation around those libraries. Ooh, looks like we are finally at the visualization phase. This is exciting. I wasn't sure if we would make it here. So drum roll, please. Let's see what this looks like. Might be awesome, might be garbage, no idea. Yes. I didn't think it would have Altair, so that's fine. Let's see if it uses Matplotlib or Seaborn. Matplotlib's fine. To me, I think it's a classic, a little bit boring. Seaborn has some pretty nice looking features to it. I love Altair personally, but for this purpose, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't have it. So let's see if it's able to get something visualized here. Come on, ChatGPT, you can do it. Okay, that is not what I was hoping for. It looks quite boring. It looks like the app. Oh, you know what? It looks like it does change a little bit over time. It doesn't give me the name of the category, so that's not really helpful. But it does look like some of these categories change a little bit over time. I was hoping more for like the trend line versus a bar chart. But you know what? Let's see if I can change that. Change this to a trend line per category versus bar chart. And change the labels to actual category names. I mean, let's see if it can at least do that. That's not too difficult, and that's going to look a lot nicer. Because I can see like whatever this green one is, it looks like it's gone up a little bit this year, a little bit higher, a little bit lower. I think a trend line is going to look, more interesting to see how each of those lines, changes year over year versus trying to compare the height of the bar charts. That's a little bit harder to do. Okay, it didn't give me the category names, which is weird. But you know what? That's fine. Not a big deal. So you can see that these categories are fairly consistent year over the year. That was kind of like the interesting thing to look at. And, you can tell there's some data quality issues that the total doesn't equal 1, meaning it's not like 100% where you would think it should be. So also, those probably add up to 100%. It looks like there's enough. Anyways, went a little bit off the rails here, but we got a visualization at the end of the day, which is what I was hoping for, so that's exciting. Well, hope you enjoyed this one. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and hope to see you guys at the next one.